I hope that the chat's at 100%, and here we are.
Awesome.
Get these champions all lined up.
Okay, so, hey, hello everybody, this is Chaos with Thunderdog eSports, bringing you tonight's match. We've got Blue Card Regi going up against the Supernova crew. Ooh, and it looks like we've got a little bit of indication for maybe some early game harassment, which should be fun.
It's definitely looking like there's going to be an invasion from Blue Card Reginald right now. I'm not sure if Supernova crew is ready to contest it, if it does happen.
Yeah, so as of right now, it looks like I'm going to have to make sure. Yes, Blue Card Regi is going to be Team Blue to make things nice and easy for us. Uh-oh, we have a game pause.
There could be a pause for some talking. Oh, there's AFK. There's a bathroom break.
Mr. Bathroom
All
Break.
We can continue to talk up the matchups here in lane while they hang out in the bathroom for however long.
Yeah. So
out.
what do we got going on mid? So
Mid looks like it's Warwick versus Orianna.
that is going to be interesting because, you know, I think the biggest thing about playing mid is, you know, when you've got that matchup where you've got a melee champion versus someone who's ranged, it always tends to be a little bit more so in favor of the ranged player, just because they've got a little bit more flexibility and ability to, you know, get those early creep kills.
Well, that is very true. However, we're talking about Warwick.
Yeah.
And the thing about Warwick is he has a very wide range on his Hungering Strike, which not only can hurt the enemy, but heal him.
Yeah. So
And what that can do is it helps him win trades. And when he wins trades, he wins lanes. So the range will always be a factor. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay. For a minute I thought that maybe Caitlyn was going mid, but she doesn't have the items for mid.
yeah, that would be
she's just watching mid.
That would be very strange. I don't think I've ever seen that type of switch up where you've got, like, you switch the AD and the AP.
Unless they get really hard countered, you probably will not see such a thing. I can understand why they went with Warwick. Having a tanky mid that can do good damage like Warwick, with his infinite Durus, he can secure kills on Orianna. He can prevent her from using her shockwave to save herself or make the gank get turned around if there's a counter gank. So it should be an interesting early game because that's going to be the most important. But when you get to mid and late game, Warwick will start to outscale Orianna with his utility and damage if they don't get out of lane phase before then.
Yeah, so looks like got Supernova crew going to be going ahead and taking that blue buff real quick. Unfortunately, Evelyn didn't get a whole lot of help, just a little bit from Renekton. Well, I don't even know if Renekton helped with that. Evelyn was just like, you know what, gonna do this.
There was a little bit of help. Renekton's more worried about getting back into lane. Evelyn can turn invisible. She doesn't need a lot of health to get within range of a gank. She's not going to be taking harass before she gets in, so having lower health on Evelyn is not the biggest problem in the world because she does have a nice heal from her ult.
Not sure what Tristana was doing, but she's finally back into the game. Just kind of chilling out there by that Wraith, just like, you know, doing his thing.
She's probably hoping to catch someone who might be trying to counter jungle or invade. You never know who's in the
Nice
jungle.
hook coming at him from Thresh. Actually going to potentially take down Tristana. Oh, the hook doesn't get it. Just barely.
Saved by the flash. Tristana, very mobile champion. In spite of her little rocket jump, she still needed a little bit more distance to get away from that death sentence from Thresh. It was just about enough with the flash, but now they're prime victims for ganks, or if they want to just turret dive at level 4, it could be highly possible.
No, I find it interesting that all of Blue Card Regi are pushing their lanes. You know, obviously Jarvan's getting ready to potentially do a gank here on Renekton. We'll have to see whether or not he can actually capitalize on it. There are no wards off, and it looks like Jarvan's going to be coming in here. First Blood is going to go ahead and get called, but will Renekton get out of it? Looks like Jarvan is going to go in, and Renekton will indeed fall. There we go.
Yeah. But it looks like Evelyn is there to maybe get the revenge kill on Jarvan if he decides to push, but they're playing it a little bit safe on Evelyn. I think that they're pushing the lanes to test the waters, see how quickly how quickly Supernova Crew reacts to certain plays so that they can learn their enemies a little bit better in this first game. When you've played in a team for the first time, you have to kind of try to learn the limits. How far can you push them, and how quickly can they react to what you want to do?
Yeah, Oriana's doing a really good job mid, getting a lot of harassment there on Warwick as he's almost about 50% health. Evelyn looking to trying to get in. Not quite going to get that Jarvan kill. But looks like Evelyn might be coming around to maybe put on a little bit more pressure on Warwick.
Warwick is definitely vulnerable to ganks in the early game. And with Oriana there, she is going to be able to slow him down and do a lot of burst damage. Top lane is getting pushed back out by Jax as he uses his Counter-Strike to get a quick stun on Renekton, who he played very well when he got very low underneath the tower. He died to the Ignite, but a good stun underneath the tower range is always good for a good revenge kill, as we saw.
Yeah, so, you know, Jack's looking to try and get back into that CS. Still things down bot. Things are going a little rough for... Oh, a nice hook's going to go back on Tristana. The shield will go down, but Tristana will be able to get out of there fairly easily, as, like you said, very, very mobile. More damage going to be going down on that bottom turret. So, yeah, Blue Card Regi definitely doing a really good job here in the early game, getting a lot of extra damage on those turrets, as well as doing really, really good on the CS front. Tristana's only at 9 CS compared to the 34 CS coming out of Caitlyn. So Caitlyn's definitely going to start snowballing here pretty quickly if this keeps up.
That is definitely true. Having a over 20 CS lead. Evelyn has DC'd. That's going to cause a pause, which will give me some time to explain the situation here. Caitlyn is doing her job very well. She's shutting down Tristana, which is going to give Blue Card Regi a great advantage coming into that late game. So we'll see how much this early game is going to affect Tristana. As the game goes on, Tristana will probably be able to do some free farm. You might see her go into the jungle and do a couple camps to keep up an experience. Having a level disadvantage is pretty bad.
Yeah, so looks like we've got a reconnect coming back from Evelyn, and we will get back rolling into this. But yeah, as far as CS is concerned, looks like overall I'd say Blue Card Regi's doing a really, really good job in pretty much all lanes. So looks like Jarvan is going to be coming in, trying to get a gank. We'll see whether or not he can get things done. He's going to go in, try and connect on to Caitlyn, but just barely not get it. And with Thresh's extra mobility with his lantern, I think they're going to be pretty safe for the time being.
Thresh is the best of both worlds. A lot of CC to help you get kills and a lot of extra mobility to get you away from them. On top of that, you're Caitlyn. You've got that 50 caliber net. You can dash away. You can dash towards a lantern that's even further back.
Ooh, and it looks like they're going to try and pivot and get into Jarvan, and it looks like Oriana's not going to be able to get enough CC off onto Jarvan, as Evelyn is just coming up from behind and not able to get there in time.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity by Blue Card Regi. I think that if the Evelyn was just a little bit closer, that could have been a pretty devastating play onto that Jarvan. As in top lane, you see Jack starting to get into a place where he can farm underneath that turret and get some harass off onto Renekton. So Renekton's going to have to start being a little bit better at keeping the lane frozen in a place where Jax can't really farm so well. Because as Jax gets more farm, he's going to start catching up, and you do not want Jax.
Oh, Hook's going to go down onto Morgana, not quite get her. She does throw her shield up. And it does look like Caitlyn and Thresh will go ahead and back off for now. You know, bottom lane, Caitlyn and Thresh have just been doing a fantastic job. I mean, 51 CS to the 19 of Tristana. I mean, that just speaks wonders once you start getting into the later game. I mean, it's just when you get a fed Kate, things are pretty bad. But when you get a fed Kate that also has lots of CS, it's just even worse.
That is very true. But the one thing that Supernova Crew are doing very well in bottom lane is they're not letting them get kills. They're staying close to their turret. you notice that even though those death sentences are landing, because they're being kept so close to the turret, Thresh can't go in on it. And it looks like there might be a quick gank in the middle of river here. They're going all in on this Jarvan.
Jarvan's health is going down really low. He's down to 20%. He will go down, but the Evelynn is just barely not going to get out. And it looks like Warwick will try and get back onto Orianna, and it looks like Orianna's going to go ahead and disengage.
Very close to make that a double for Warwick there. Jarvan was caught at the right place at the perfect time for Blue Card Regi to get that gank going. And the burst damage between Orianna and those hate spikes was more than enough to take out Jarvan at the HP he was at. Now you can see in mid lane how dangerous Warwick is against someone who's a little more on the squishy side. In spite of her range advantage, you can see how high he's keeping his HP. And because she doesn't have any way to heal back his harass, he's really winning those trades in spite of her poking him every couple seconds.
Yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But bot, we do have another hook, not quite going to go down.
I think that Thresh is apprehensive about going in because of the snare.
Yeah, he's apprehensive, but I think he's doing a really good job of zoning out Supernova Crew. I mean, at this point, they've just been doing a fantastic job, like, minimizing the amount of CS that Tristana can get. I mean, she's still about half of what Caitlyn is producing at this point.
And in top lane, Jax had a quick exchange between Renekton and himself. Jax came out the victor because of a very well-timed counter-strike. His burst damage, I think, caught Renekton off guard. He was at pretty low health. I think that he thought he could slice and dice out. But Ignite was back up for Jax, and it secured him the kill underneath that turret. Good play by him. That's going to get him his Phage. We're going to probably see an early Trinity Force by the look of how he's going. If he gets another kill or two, we will probably see even some lifesteal in the future other than his Doran's Blades. But he's in a great position right now. That Phage is going to give him good chase, and he has a good amount of lifesteal between the Doran's Blades for now. That will fall off as the game goes on, obviously.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and take that blue buff for now, and then go back into laning. Yeah, I think overall, even though there is a slight money difference between the two teams, I'd say both teams are still in pretty good spots, and it does look like Jarvan's actually going to come in here and try and get another gank. Ooh, nice hook going up on Jarvan. It looks like the ult will come down from Thresh. Thresh is going to get caught out, though, but will Caitlyn be able to pick up some kills? We got one Morgana's going down, and it looks like she's going to try and focus down Tristana. Tristana will also fall, and double kill will go for Caitlyn. Very, very well executed. Warwick looking like he wants to go ahead and come down, maybe help out a little bit down at bot lane. The bot lane turret is definitely going to be falling.
Must apologize for that chaos.
Yeah, no big deal. So looks like Warwick's going to try and come in and get some kills done, but he is getting focused out. There's just too much DPS coming out from Caitlyn and Evelynn, and it looks like the Blue Card Regi's going to be picking up that dragon.
Very well coordinated. You could see they had 4 people down there. Perfect amount to kill the Warwick quickly and then go right to Dragon. Yeah. That's going to put them in a great lead here with a quick 4,000 gold lead, which is a lot when you're 11 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the double kill coming out from Caitlyn plus the Warwick, and then immediately after that Dragon, it's just like, you can't ask for much more.
Yes, that is very true. It looked like they were very coordinated there. A lot of communication was obviously used to have the Orianna ready to start Dragon as soon as Warwick died. So there was no chance of any kind of contesting. Top lane looks like they're going to have another exchange, but a nice little ward jump by Jax gets him to safety before Renekton's Dominus could come into play.
Yeah, I think, you know, all lanes as far as Blue Card Regi, they're doing a great job keeping things pushed. Getting a lot of damage done on those turrets and pretty much keeping themselves in the lead as far as gold is concerned.
Very true. They are definitely dictating the pace of this game, but don't count Supernova Crew out just yet. When it comes to a comeback, they can definitely mount one. Warwick's power is not to be underestimated as the top lane turret is taken out by Renekton. but they still have a long way to go before that Nexus explodes.
Yep, hook goes down on Warwick, and it looks like Jarvan's ult will go down on Caitlyn. Jarvan's getting very low. Evelyn will pick up that kill, and it looks like she's set for blood. Warwick is going to go ahead and get in and catch Evelyn off guard under that turret, and the middle turret will fall as well.
That is what happens when you underestimate Warwick's burst. Infinite Duress followed by a Hungering Strike is a lot of HP, especially if he goes with some ability power, which he does have built, and he has some good magic resist to help against those hate spikes as well, so he was able to survive the harassment underneath the tower. The downside is he couldn't defend his mid lane turrets. They've lost all of their lane turrets in mid, and in exchange they got the bottom lane turret for Supernova Crew. They're behind on turrets, which means that they're behind on gold, and the deficit is not going to get any smaller if they can't continue to pressure the enemies.
Yeah, so we'll have to see whether or not, I don't know, like jungle, Jarvan really hasn't been executing very well. He's tried several attempts, but hasn't just been able to make any like very concise play to push Supernova Crew ahead. So Warwick's going to go in on Orianna, and Thresh is here. Looks like Warwick might potentially get picked out, but he's got plenty of burst and durability, that's for sure.
He is at this point, with just that Athena's Unholy Grail, he is already relatively deadly with how much burst he has between those Hungering Strikes. It's a very short cooldown, especially with blue buff. And whenever he gets people low, he gets that awesome movement speed bonus. And that's going to make him hard to run away from. And he has a very strong initiation as well.
Yeah, so it looks like Supernova Crew is going to be coming in here trying to look for a tower. We'll have to see whether or not they can actually bait it out or get the appropriate sieging. All the men, it looks like they will be forced to back out for now.
I gotta say, Blue Card Regi very good at stopping siege. They're playing very well, keeping their poke protected. They have people in front so that they can absorb any counter poke. And Evelyn's doing well at defending Jax, in spite of Jax maybe even being able to burst her down, but maybe not. He might need a little bit more damage before he can do that.
I don't know, that one single hit seemed to do about 20% of his health, but
it's very true.
Yeah, looks like we do. Oh, nice hook going off on Warwick. The shield will go down, and not quite enough. Didn't want to fully engage to that. Still waiting for Caitlyn to, or I guess Orianna to get back into the fight.
Top lane looks like they're going to get a kill on Evelyn. Evelyn stayed a little bit too long, and Jax used that burst damage to take her down. She was at less than half HP. It was practically inevitable. Renekton should have been there just a little bit sooner. Would have saved Evelyn's life, but sadly, he was a little late.
Yeah, so lanes are now kind of pushed in Supernova Crew's favor. We'll have to see whether or not they will actually make the odd, or take the option to go ahead and continue on pushing.
They certainly need to get some map control. Every turret that you lose is also control of the map.
Yep.
As you can see, since they lost their top turret and their two mid turrets. Ooh. Oh wait, in mid lane, no, he flashed.
Orianna's trying to get some skin, and nice. She does. Definitely, Chipper's going to go ahead and take that kill. Morgana definitely not in a good position to go ahead and help out there. So.
Yeah, he was just a little bit too far out, and that kind of mistake will be punished in competitive play.
Yeah, so looks like Orianna pinging, thinking that might be something back there as Morgana slips back into the shadows.
It's always good to try to know where your enemies are on the map, and that's what wards are for. And you can see that Blue Card Regi have some pretty aggressive wards in the enemy's jungle.
Yeah.
Mostly because they're counter jungling, so you're able to do that.
So, okay, so at this point, we're kind of at a lull. It's 4 towers to 1. What do you think that Supernova Crew really needs to do in order to get things moving in the right direction for them?
Well, they need to get this Jax, his Trinity Force. They need to get him built up. They need to get him to where he can be with the team and start carrying these fights. But the thing that their biggest challenge is that Blue Card Regi has so much control of the map right now that Jax can't really free farm without worrying about sacrificing objectives. For instance, they just lost another dragon, and they don't really have the means to counter it, but they're going to try to go in with a nice Cataclysm followed by a good Shockwave by Orianna to try to get herself into a survivable position. Caitlyn gets taken out, and it looks like Thresh wants to get the last hit onto Warwick, who does survive, just barely makes it out of there. Evelyn getting kind of... She has so much damage right now. It's crazy as they turn in onto J4. J4 gets taken out for the triple kill onto Orianna. Orianna getting very fed after that fight.
That was definitely not the best engagement coming out of Supernova.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they went in.
I mean, it's like, you know, you already see that the dragon's done, so they don't have like this kind of secondary enemy, and you know, risking. You know, it was 3v4. I mean, what do you do?
Maybe they felt like they could burst down the right champions, but the big problem is I think that they underestimated Evelyn, and now they're going to get another quick kill onto Jackson top lane.
Yeah, and actually Renekton's going to go ahead and get out there. Evelyn trying to get some damage done. Warwick going to try and look for some blood. Looks like Tristana is going to go ahead and get a double kill, and she will go ahead and get bursted down by
yet.
Warwick, taking down the Evelyn.
Oh man, right when you think that Reggie's got the game going where they want it to, and you think they're going to do something aggressive, in comes Supernova Crew with a great counter gank. They were able to turn that around very quickly, and now maybe they're thinking about Baron.
Baron? Is it? It kind of feels a little early for Baron in my opinion, but anyways, they're looking to go for it. Thresh going to throw out his lantern, and it looks like Supernova Crew says, yep, maybe not.
Maybe they were trying to force the enemy away from something. I'm not sure what the plan was there. Maybe they were actually going to do Baron, though I don't think that they have the damage to do it quite yet. They don't have any Blades of the Ruined King. They only have a Bloodthirster on their side, so I don't think that they have the damage for it, even though Warwick can certainly out-heal the Baron damage.
Yeah. So I think as far as that engagement went, I think the biggest thing is the Blue Card Regi, they overcommitted. Like, they had just gotten a very, very strong win, and they were like, well, let's just make it better, and by diving that turret and going after was it Jax? I think it was Jax.
Yeah, it was definitely Jax. They wanted Jax. They thought it was just Jax, but little did they know Supernova Crew was ready to counter engage.
Yeah, so it looks like...
I also think that they didn't expect Tristana to get a double kill back there. I think that definitely was not in their plan.
Yeah, they just like did not expect her to be there, and with her ult, it was just like, okay, well.
Whoa.
Lots of damage.
Suddenly people are dead. What happened? But she, as you can see in her farm, she's starting to catch up really fast and really well. And it looks like they want to engage here. Cataclysm comes in from J4. As Warwick's getting focused down, they see that his threat is very real, and down goes the second member of Team Supernova Crew.
And Orianna is just getting absolutely fed. Morgana will go down by Evelyn, and yeah, this is just starting to snowball just a little bit, my friend.
Even Renekton is not afraid of a turret. He just took 3 turret shots, and he's not even thinking about getting away from this Jax. And Jax is not really doing a lot of damage to him.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised at the amount of damage. I just have to say, the amount of damage that Evelyn's hate spikes are doing is ridiculous for what she has built.
Yeah, so inhib will go down, as well as that first base turret. So yeah, things are looking really, really good for Blue Card Regi as they push in here, getting another turret, 6-1. Just definitely things starting to spiral very, very rapidly.
Mm-hmm. And they're starting to take the enemy's buffs now. That's going to be pretty big. Orianna refreshing her blue buff there.
Yeah, so got about 2 minutes, a little under 2 minutes for dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, they're going to go ahead and take their own blue buff as well. So yeah, definitely doing a really good job keeping all the buffs kind of in their control. And it looks like Supernova Crew going to be trying to focus down that mid turret, or at least pinging for it.
Yeah, they have to get mid lane. They need map control. Best lane to push for map control is mid. We may be seeing some of the final team fights soon at the rate that this game is going. Blue Card Regi is doing very well at keeping the pace fast, which makes it difficult for your enemy team to react when they're behind. But if you look at the minion scores, Tristana, who was very far behind in the early part of the game, is catching up very rapidly. And if they let this continue, if they let her continue to farm, if they let her continue to get more and more gold, and if even worse, if she starts getting more kills, this game could quickly turn around and be in Supernova Crew's favor.
Yeah, so we will have to see. Both teams just kind of waiting out their time, just trying to figure out, okay, what is the next objective that we're going to focus on. I definitely think that they need to start focusing, starting to get that top and mid turret down. I think those are going to be kind of your big contention points at this point.
Definitely. Not to mention, without that, it looks like they lost their inhibitor in mid, which is huge for losing map control overall. And top lane looks like they're going to be grabbing this Jax as he's trying to farm. And yeah, they are definitely going to take him out. Chipper takes the last hit. Doing very well to keep himself very fed this game.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jax actually pushed in there. Like, Renekton and Jax were up there doing their own thing, and then Jax decided that he wanted to, just kind of go for it. And then all the rest of Blue Card Regi decided to jump in. Baron going down pretty quickly, but it's going to be really difficult for Supernova Crew to really engage this. Baron will go down.
Oh, man.
And this could potentially turn out pretty bad. Morgana's going to get caught out. She will go down. Evelyn going after Tristana, trying to get some painful spikes going up into Tristana. And Tristana will go ahead and get out with the flash.
Saved by the flash again. Man, flash can be so overpowered sometimes. That could have been the play ending. That could have been the game-ending play, rather.
Yeah.
But that flash, just a little bit too much. It's such a shame that Morgana was in the worst place possible. She was just trying to ward to see what they were really doing, maybe try to hide and pull something sneaky.
Yeah.
But they turned right on her.
So at this point, Blue Card Regi's doing a really good job reaching their endgame fantasy. And doing
They are definitely pressuring hard.
Yeah, so they're going to be pushing up that top lane, see whether or not they can actually get that turret and inhib. As they
could.
They're like posing to siege. Tristana's actually down bottom, so she's not really going to be able to engage into any part of this fight unless she decides to come back. But it does look like Blue Card Regi's going to be going in, trying to focus down the turret. Renekton's actually going to get, very nice Jarvan all coming down, and it looks like, there we go.
The damage from Orianna. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Jarvan goes down, inhib will go down, and it looks like we could be rolling into the end of this first game here. 26 minutes already at the Nexus turrets. First turret will go down, and I think we might have ourselves a game here.
I'm going to have to agree with you there, Chaos. They got the Baron buff, which is usually a signal from the team, we want to end this. And they are doing everything they can to do so.
Nexus will fall. Blue Card Regi will take game number 1. And I think we will go to a quick break as we're loading.